Hi, I'm George Pearson, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use the new Photoshop Symmetry Tool, which works with the brush tool. Now if you're new to my channel, or it's been a while since you've checked my channel page, I just wanted to mention my current schedule on videos. Right now I'm doing Photoshop videos like this one and longer projects on Thursdays. On Saturdays I'll be doing either a Photoshop or a Photoshop Elements or something else. On Mondays I do Photoshop Elements, so you'll see a Photoshop Element video on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, just for the fun of it, I'm doing some Minecraft videos. So pick the day you like to watch. Again, that's Photoshop on Thursday and sometimes Saturday. Photoshop Elements on Monday and sometimes Saturday. Other things happen occasionally on Saturday. And then Minecraft on Tuesday. Okay, let's get to it. The new Photoshop Symmetry Tool isn't so much a tool as it is an option. And it's an option for the paintbrush and the pencil and the eraser. You won't find it available anyplace else. So it's a little limited because of that, but it's still a very interesting and unusual tool. Let me just show you what this thing does. Let's first turn off the symmetry. There we go. And I'll make a new layer here. Let's just fill that new layer with white so there's a nice blank canvas. I have a couple of guidelines in here just as reference. That's just showing me the center point for the page. Now the Symmetry Tool is an option, as I mentioned, for the paintbrush or the pencil or the eraser. We'll stick with the paintbrush in here. I'll set my colors to the default foreground background right there. Now normally if you paint on the page like that, you get this kind of thing happening. You paint wherever it is that you're painting. Let's just undo that. 3 undo taps. That's also a new feature here in 2019. You can undo several steps. Real nice feature. Okay, with the Symmetry Tool, the option is right here, the kind of little butterfly icon. There are lots of symmetry options in here. Let me show you the first one here, vertical. It gives you a vertical line. You can change the scale of the line by pulling on your sides here. You can rotate the line around like that. So you have a little bit of control on the placement. When you're happy with the placement, just click on the check mark up there and then it's placed in position. Now anything you paint on this side is mirrored on the other side. That's the basic concept behind the Symmetry Tool. Let me just back up a couple of steps and get rid of this thing. Lots of options in here, vertical or horizontal. A dual axis, that's your kind of plus sign in there. Take that one out. A wavy line symmetry. Notice I can actually change this while I'm working out. Here's kind of a circle symmetry. This one's a little bit weird on how it works. Spiral symmetry. Let me just show you this one real fast. Again, very odd. It actually kind of copies what you're doing around that spiral. Very, very strange. But somebody may find something interesting about that one. That's a good one for experimentation. Parallel lines, a line here and a line there. And then the two that I think are most useful, the radial and the mandala. Let's do the radial here. I'll do segment count at 6. There it is. Now with this one, again, once you have it positioned, just click that check mark. And then anything I do in here is mimicked inside those other 6 positions. If I'm over that line there, same thing works. You can see right there. So it mimics that and it allows you to do interesting and rather quick complex designs just by letting it come in and repeat that 6 times. Now notice this one is just doing a straight repeat around like that. It's just kind of marching straight around as a straight repeat. Let's just undo several steps. Again, this is the Control-Z keyboard shortcut, which now works as it should work and should have been this way for decades in Photoshop, and they just decided to fix that one. The mandala, let's just set this to 6. Again, looks the same, but this one does a mirrored image. Again, hit the check mark to set it in place. Now anything I do in here is mirrored. You can see it like that. It comes in and actually gets mirrored in there. And again, you can make some very interesting designs this way. Let me show you one thing. I just begun to play with this a little bit. Haven't done a whole lot of work yet with the Symmetry Tool, but I think there's a lot of potential here if you approach it carefully. Let's just undo this and I'll turn the symmetry off right there. There it is. Now I want to show you one little thing about how Photoshop works with the paintbrush, and then we'll use this to give us a more interesting and complex design. If I'm painting a diagonal line like that, and I hit the Shift key, it puts it into a straight line. If I let go again, it's back into a diagonal. There's the Shift key down, let go of the Shift key down, let go of the Shift key. You can do this more over here. I'll go over here like this, Shift key down, let go of the Shift key down, let go of the Shift key. So it tries to push it into either a vertical or a horizontal line, depending upon what it thinks that you're trying to do. But it gives this kind of weird jumping back and forth thing, like that. Each time I hit that Shift key, it does a little jump. Now we can use that strange behavior to actually give us a more interesting design when we're working with that symmetry. So let's go ahead and go up here, go to the mandala symmetry. I'll set this at 6. There it is. Let's just stretch this out a little bit. I'll grab the upper right, bottom left, pull it out, put it back about center. Once it's positioned where you want it, hit that check mark right here. And now let's do some kind of an interesting design. I'll grab a medium blue over here for my swatches, and I'll just put a dot right there. So it repeats that dot clear around. If I go over here and do a dot right there, again it repeats that dot. If I now pull that straight up and then wiggle it a little bit, like this, it gives me that kind of repeating pattern clear around. Let's make this a little bit more interesting now. I'm going to pull this up, and then I'll use that Shift key trick a couple of times. So I'll start right here, I'll pull it up, and then Shift key, and then let go of the Shift key, and then Shift key again. And because of that weird jump that it makes trying to push that into a straight line, it gives me a very interesting, more complex pattern. Let's go ahead and do some more of this stuff. Let's grab there's a brighter fuchsia in here. I'll start in the middle, and I'll go out this way, about this far, Shift key, and let go, Shift key, and let go again. And I'll just pull those in like that. So you get kind of interesting snowflake almost like effects in here by using that little kind of odd Shift key effect. I'll just do a straight line there and kind of finish that off. I'm just pulling it out right now sideways. So there you go. That's how to use this very interesting new tool. And again, it's not so much a tool as it is an option for the paintbrush. So paintbrush or the pencil tool. It works with either one of those or the eraser tool. And it's over here in the options at the top for that tool. Right hand side looks like a butterfly. And you have all these different options there, all these different choices in here. So there you go. That is working with this new Symmetry Option. Again, it's really a option for the paintbrush and the pencil as much as it is a new tool. And that's in Photoshop 2019. Don't forget to check the channel for new Photoshop videos on Thursdays and also very frequently on Saturdays as well.